Lesson 87 today is about finding missing factors. And the first problem that we have to do is to solve 5n equals 21. Now whenever we see a number touching a variable, it means multiplication. So we're going to multiply some number n times 5 to get to 21. Do you know what number you have to multiply 5 by to get to 21? Well, that's a hard one because it's not a whole number answer. One way we could figure out this problem would be to look at a separate example. An easier example. Maybe we had 5n is equal to 20. And we'd say 5 times what number is equal to 20? Well, that must be 4. And the way we could figure that out would be to say 20 divided by 5 is equal to 4, and 4 would have to be equal to n in our separate example. So with this one, 5n is equal to 21, we could do exactly the same thing. This was an equal to sign. So when we had 5n equals 20, we divided because n had to be less than 20 in order to multiply 5 by it to get to our product of 20. So let's divide. We're going to divide 21 by 5, and 21 divided by 5 is going to equal n. There's a bird squawking in the background. It's loud. 21 divided by 5, that's n. Let's figure out what we get. 21 divided by 5, well, 5 goes into 21 4 times. That's 20 with 1 left over, so we've got our answer, 4 and 1 out of 5, or 4 and 1/5. So we could go ahead and rewrite that. N is equal to 4 and 1/5, because 5 times 4 and 1/5 equals 21. We can box it and move on to our next question. Here we have 0.6m is equal to 0.048. Now in order to do this problem, we'll do the same thing. We're going to divide. Let's say 0.048, or 48 thousandths, divided by 0.6, or 6/10. Now we know we don't ever want to divide by a decimal, so we're going to move the decimal point over 1, and then we're going to balance out our dividend by moving the decimal point over 1. So our real problem is going to be 0.48 divided by 6. And when we do this, we can figure out what our answer is going to be. So 6 never goes into 0, we get 0, and the decimal point comes straight up. 6 never goes into 4, so we have 0 again. But 6 does go into 48 evenly. 6 times 8 is 48. So we've got our final answer, because 48 minus 48 is equal to 0. In this problem, m must be equal to 0.08. You can box it and move on to our next question. Our next question is to solve. We have 45 is equal to 4 times x. We know whenever a number touches a variable, it means multiplication. So in this one, it's a very similar process. Well, 4 times some number x is equal to 45. So that number x, it must be smaller than 45. So we're going to have to divide to find our answer. We're going to have to say 45 divided by 4 in order to figure out what x is equal to. So 4 goes into 4 one time. That gives us 4 with 0 left over, and we bring down our 5. 4 goes into 5 one time. We've got 4 with 1 left over. We've got our answer, 11 and 1 out of 4. So 11 and 1/4. That must be x. 11 and 1/4 is equal to x, because 4 times 11 and 1/4 is equal to 45. We've solved our problem because we figured out what x needs to be equal to in order to make the equation true. Our lesson practice will continue with this topic on page 466. Make sure you've got your notes completed, and I'll see you during our next class.